So translocation is the bulk movement of substances through conducting tissues or vascular tissues is called as translocation. And this translocation, for the process of translocation, the main part which is involved in the absorption of this is xylem. The main part which is required for the process of translocation is xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem. These two together constitute the vascular tissues in plants. Xylem and phloem together constitute the vascular tissues in plants. So, through xylem, water and minerals which are absorbed by the roots will be transported to all the parts of the plant. Whereas, the phloem is involved in the conducting of the food material which is prepared in leaves to all the parts of the plant. So these two are called as the conducting tissues or vascular tissues in plants. So now we will see how do the plants absorb water. How do plants absorb water? How do plants absorb water? So the main part which is involved in the absorption of water is the root. So root system, it is going to have a number of small hair-like structures which are called as root hairs. With the help of these root hairs, it is going to absorb the water. And from the root, it is sent to other parts of the plant by means of two systems which are called as apoplast system and symplast system. Apoplast pathway and symplast pathway. Apoplast pathway and symplast pathway. The movement of the absorbed water from the roots will enter into the different parts through two pathways, apoplast pathway and symplast pathway. So now let us see apoplast pathway. For this, apoplast pathway is nothing but the movement of water through the cell walls and intercellular spaces is called as apoplast pathway. The movement of water through the cell walls and intercellular spaces is called as So, the movement of water takes place in two pathways, apoplast pathway and symplast pathway. So, apoplast pathway is nothing but the movement of water along the cell wall through the intercellular spaces. Through the intercellular spaces is called as the apoplast pathway. The movement of water along the cell walls through the intercellular spaces is called as apoplast pathway. So most of the water is absorbed through this apoplast pathway, which requires a gradient. This pathway requires a gradient. That means more amount of water in the soil solution and less amount of water in the root. So the water from the soil solution enters into the root through this pathway, which is called as apoplast pathway. That is through cell walls and intercellular spaces. And it does not offer any resistance to the movement. It does not offer any resistance to the movement of water. Then when it reaches the endodermis. In the endodermis, we have the tissue. We have a special kind of thickening which is called as Casparian thickenings. In the endodermis, we have the lateral walls are with Casparian thickenings, which is made up of suberin. So this suberin does not allow the water to pass through the cell wall. So now the water has to cross the cell membrane. The water has to cross the cell membrane and enter into the protoplasm and through the protoplasm it enters into the pericycle. That path, that movement of water is called as the Simplast pathway. The movement of water through the plasma membrane or across the plasma membrane, passing through the protoplasm and then entering into the pericycle is called as the Simplast pathway. And from this again, now the water will be taken into the, after crossing the endodermis, the water again, once again it takes up the apoplast pathway and finally it enters into the xylem. It is going to enter into the xylem where the tracheids and vessels are going to conduct the water to the remaining parts of the plant. So by these two pathways, apoplast pathway and Simplast pathway, the water which is absorbed from the roots will be carried from the roots to different parts of the plant. And in this, we have, in some plants, there is an association between the fungi and the higher plants, which is called as mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is nothing but the association between the roots of higher plants and fungi is called as mycorrhiza. So these fungi will produce very thin hyphae which is able to absorb more amount of water, and this water will be passed to the different parts of the plant. And in turn, the fungi is going to get food from the plant. In this way, both are mutually benefited. So this is also one kind of symbiotic relationship between fungi and mycorrhiza. Fungi and higher plants, which is called as mycorrhiza.